Hi, welcome to the Brief Book Reviews channel, otherwise known as An Old Guy Reviews the book that he's read this week. So what's the old guy read this week? Well, the book I've read this week is called The Last Goodbye by author Tim Weaver. It was published here in the UK on the 8th of June 2023, and I suppose I need to preface this review by fessing up to say that I am a fan of Tim Weaver and his books. The stories about missing persons investigator David Raker. I've read all the Tim Weaver's books, and I was looking forward to this one being published. So having got that out of the way, what's this all about? Well, it's another David Raker story. David Raker is a missing persons investigator, formerly a journalist, suffered the loss of his wife due to cancer, and has always had an interest in people that go missing and felt an empathy with people who have lost someone. So he's had many adventures over the years, and this is the latest one. So what's happening in this one, I hear you say? Well, David's contacted by somebody we met in a previous Weaver book, Missing Pieces, a lady called Rebecca Murphy, who was stranded on an island in Missing Pieces that wasn't used during the winter. Rebecca's based in the US, in New York, but was brought up initially in the UK. So Rebecca's contacted David. David had a sort of cameo appearance in Missing Pieces. But Rebecca's contacted David because she wants to know what happened to her mother, Fiona Murphy. Fiona Murphy walked out on the family when Rebecca was 3 years old and was never seen since. The tricky bit, if you will, is the recent events where Rebecca has received letters on important dates on when other family members have passed from her mother. And Rebecca wants David to find out, A, is her mother dead? Are these letters from her mother, or is it somebody else? And P.S., what happened to Fiona Murphy? So David is engaged to do that, and away he sets. Meanwhile, there's another incident where a guy called Tom Brenner and his 9-year-old son Leo are out for the day at a theme park, and they're about to go into the ghost house. They're both looking forward to it. Leo, his son, has been looking forward to this for ages. Tom and Leo go into the ghost house, but never reappear. Nobody knows what's happened to Tom and Leo. It appears that they've disappeared from plain sight. So we have two mysteries. One's from 40 years ago, where Fiona Murphy has disappeared, and one's from like a day or two ago where Tom Brenner and Leo have disappeared. And David is tasked with finding out what happened to Fiona, but also there is a thread that brings the disappearance of Tom and Leo into that orbit. And as usual, David is chasing down lead upon lead upon lead, and eventually there are some connections found between the two cases. And there are lots and lots of different angles to this case, and it very soon becomes apparent that there are people of ill intent, evil people, villains, if you will, who don't want the disappearance of Fiona or Tom and Leo to be looked at too closely or to be investigated. So off goes David on a quest to find out what the villains are up to, and in this case is a particularly evil villain that's the perpetrator of some crimes, both to the people involved and other people. So it's a very fast-moving, fast-paced novel as usual from Weaver. And while all this is going on, P.S., there's another sideline where Raker regular Colm Healy, who at the end of the last Raker book, The Blackbird, was outed. He'd faked his own death, and he's been in prison for 4.5 months, and is keen to get out. The police are keen that perhaps in the deal with Colm, they'll get him to effectively grass up Raker, because there are some people in the police force that don't particularly like Raker, because he solves cold cases that they can't. So a whole lot of stuff going on. It's another great read, 450 pages, but it is. You very often get told that a book's unputdownable. I really didn't want to put this book down. I really enjoyed reading it. And all right, given the bias that I do like Tim Weaver's books, it's still a great read. It's a great mystery, fast moving, lots of twists and turns. So I'd give it an 8 out of 10 any day of the week. So that's it for today's brief book review. Thanks for watching. 10/10 to do it again. Cheers.